Hello everyone, welcome. Today I thought I'd go ahead and share my vinyl collection video, and I do want to preface by saying that I did start collecting vinyls back in 2021, so it's been about 3-4 years now, and I do primarily listen to metal, but I do have some oddball albums amongst my vinyl collection here mixed in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. I'll be starting off with black metal because that is the section that I have or own the most albums of. Starting off strong with Aus Nord. This is Memoria Vetusta, Fathers of the Icy Age. And fun fact, I was listening to this album when I got into my first car crash, so there's that. Specifically the song Slaughter Day, which almost became my Slaughter Day. Panzer Division Marduk. I absolutely love this album, probably top 10, top 20 albums of all time. Next I have Departure Chandelier, Satan's Soldier of Fortune. Next I got this Summoning Old Morning's Dawn. This album cover is beautiful and I got this for Christmas just last month. I've been obsessed with this album. Again, another amazing, epic, atmospheric black metal album. And my favorite songs off of it is Earthshine and the self-titled as well. But yeah, this album, oh my goodness gracious. Whew. This album is an 11 out of 10. Top 5 albums, top favorite albums of all time for me. Next I have Burzum. I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing these, by the way, because I already mispronounce a lot of words in English. But this is the one that I have. This is actually one of the first black metal albums that I got into when I first started getting back into black metal. Next I have Immortal's Pure Holocaust. I have another Aus Nord album here. I will be honest, I'm quite forgetful when it comes to album names, so I'll just be putting them on the screen. I have here Enslaved L. This is the, I guess, premium version of the album, and I actually had it signed by Enslaved themselves at a concert a couple years back, which was pretty neat. I have Inquisition. This is actually an EP that's not on Spotify, at least not yet. This is Incense of Rust, and I blind bought this album because I already know it's Inquisition, I'm gonna love it. And when I played this, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I spent the 18 bucks because it's a really nice cover. And I just realized that it comes with this little baby poster. It's pretty nice. Mutilation's Black Millennium. Enslaved's Hordane's Land. I have the picture disc, and I also had this one signed at the same concert that I attended a couple years back. I have the classic Immortal Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. This is probably my favorite Immortal album. If not, then it's probably Pure Holocaust or... Next I have Satyricon's Dark Medieval Times. I have Druidic Blood in Our Wells. Judas Iscariot's Dethroned, Conquered, and Forgotten. And I am actually... can't really see it well, but this is the long sleeve that I'm wearing currently. I have Nargaroth. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing this. Graveland, A Thousand Swords. I have Tsjuder, Desert and Northern Hell. I have Darkthrone's Hate Them, which I think this album is underrated. Immortal, Damned in Black. I have this Horna album, and I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing this entire thing. I have here another Inquisition album, and one thing I do appreciate about them is that their album covers are actually pretty cool when it comes to vinyls. Next I have Judas Iscariot's Heaven and Flames. This is my favorite album by them. I have Lunar Aurora's Elixir of Sorrow. This is an amazing German, atmospheric, almost raw, cold-sounding black metal band. I have another Lunar Aurora album. It's Ars Moriendi. I have Immortal's newest release, War Against All. Immortal's Blizzard Beasts. Transylvanian Hunger. I have Isengard. My favorite song off this album is Total Death. And can't think of the other one. I'll just leave it on the screen. I have Inquisition's Magnificent Glorification of Lucifer. This is the album that got me into Inquisition, and such a good album. I have Enslaved's Frost. I have Bloodhem by Enslaved as well. Necrofier, Visions and Fire. I have Bathory's Under the Sign of the Black Mark. This used to be my favorite album of all time, but it's been replaced by another one that will be coming up here shortly. I have Craven Idol's Forked Tongues. This album, I remember listening to it one random night in 2021, and it was so good that I bought it on the spot off of Bandcamp. So you know an album's good when you just have to have it that same day. Next I have Bulldozer's 9, IX I believe. This is Varathron's His Majesty at the Swamp. This is basically rotting Christ worship. I have Enslaved's Viking something something. This is amazing if you're into very atmospheric, raw-ish sounding black metal. Bathory's The Return. Fun fact, I used to not like Bathory's The Return, and then it took me about 3 tries to finally enjoy that album. I have Darkthrone's Eternal Hails. I really like this album cover, I think it's pretty. I have Marduk's, I believe, Opus Nocturne. Dark Funerals, We Are the Apocalypse. I have this album by Burzum, and I did paint this album cover a few years ago when I was obsessed with this album. I have Nargaroth's Black Metal East Krieg, Immortal, Sons of Northern Darkness. I think I got this one for Christmas last month, but it is Forgotten Woods, As the Wolves Gather. This is so good if you're into more raw black metal. And then last but not least for black metal, I have my favorite album of all time, which is Gehenna's Seen Through the Veils of Darkness, Second Spell. This album, I love the organs on this album, the synths, just everything about that album. I have Pentagram's Be Forewarned. Pentagram's Day of Reckoning. I did have an obsession with Pentagram for like a whole year. This is one of my most recent purchases. It's the Pentagram's Review Your Choices. And I don't know if it's just me, but I do prefer the original cover more than this one. Count Raven's The Sixth Storm. And Count Raven is actually a very underrated doom band. So if you're into bands like, I want to say Solitude, Candlemass, then you'll definitely like them. I have Morne's, however you pronounce that, To the Night Unknown. I actually had a customer recommend this to me at work, so he came in clutch with that. I have The Axeman Cometh, and I was so surprised to see this at a record shop near my house, and my boyfriend loves to make fun of this album all the time because he says it sounds awful. I have this beauty, Solitude Aeturnus, Into the Depths of Sorrow. Solitude Aeturnus is my favorite doom metal band, and this is probably my favorite album of theirs. It's so good. I have another Solitude album here. This is Alone. Woods of Ypres. I think this is chapter 4, 4th album. Witchfinder General's, let me see, Death Penalty. I had to pre-order this one when it first came out. Oops. This is Typo Negative's Life is Killing Me. I have Down's Nola. I have another Woods of Ypres album. This is Woods 5, Grays 5, Gray Skies, and Electric Light. Candlemass, Nightfall, and it still has some bite marks there from my cat, whom is no longer with us. I have Trouble Psalm 9, Paul Chain's Alcahest. This, I think, is a underrated doom album. I have Count Raven's Mammon's War. All this time I thought it was Mammoth's War. I got lucky with this album because it was sitting at a record shop apparently forever, and the guy decided to give me a discount. I have Black Sabbath's The Mob Rules. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad with album titles. Candlemass, Ancient Dreams, and Typo Negative's October Rust. On to my death metal section. I actually have more death metal albums than I thought I did, so I'm glad I'm not slacking there. This is Dungeon Serpent's World of Sorrows. This is also another album that I listened to just once, and I had to buy it immediately that same night. Bolt Throwers. I believe this is their EP, In Battle There Is No Law. This is one of my favorite death metal albums of all time. This is Amorphis' Tales from the Thousand Lakes, and the album cover is beautiful. I have Septicflesh's Sumerian demons, whatever, and I just realized that it has their autographs here because we did go to a Septicflesh concert about a year ago. I have Septicflesh's Ophidian Wheel. This is more Death Doom, but this is Ripiculo's, it's this album here, I forget the name of it. Dying Fetus, Wrong One to Mess With. I know my sisters are watching. I got this album for Christmas, and the main reason I wanted this album, not only is it because it's good, but because my favorite song by Worm, Operations of Gloom, is on there. And if you've ever listened to the outro of that song, it is so beautiful. I feel like it touches my heart every single time I listen to it. I have Cannibal Corpse's The Bleeding, Tomb of the Mutilated, and last but not least, I have another Death Doom album, which is Paradise Lost. And unfortunately, I meant this in the car. Same day I bought it. Alright, so on to my last section of this video, which is just random metal / random genres not having to do with metal. Starting off with the avant-garde band Corner. This is Punishment for Decadence. This is avant-garde, but I want to say it also falls into the realms of thrash. It's a really good album. I have Bathory's Destroyer of Worlds. This is more Viking / black metal. It's kind of a influence of 3 different subgenres in one. So Viking, black, and I want to say thrash. I have Ancient Rites, Blasphemia Eternal. I have Pantera, which is my comfort band, Cowboys from Hell. Vulgar Display of Power, Far Beyond Driven, Great Southern Trendkill, and forget the name of this one. Goddamn Electric, I think. And honestly, I didn't even know I had this last one. I completely forgot. I have Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark. I listened to this album a lot when I was a freshman on the bus in school. Bring Me the Horizons, Cut Your Blessings. This was my favorite album of all time back in when I was a teenager. Bathory's Blood on Ice. This is basically a Viking album. Another Viking album by Bathory. This is Twilight of the Gods. This is my first ever vinyl that I bought. I have 3 Tool albums. I have Enema, Undertow, and last but not least, I have Lateralis. However you pronounce that. And I love this because it looks really cool. I have Dolly Parton here. I have her album Jolene. Glen Campbell's Galveston. This album plays really well, and I found it at the record shop for only $2. I have Wichita Lineman by Glen Campbell, and this album is, well, this song and this album is one of the first albums that has got me into country and made me give country a second chance. This is where we store our vinyls. The shelf is from IKEA. We used to store them here, but we ran out of room. There's my kitty cat. We ran out of room, so we had to upgrade to this. So with that concludes my vinyl collection video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.